Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on a 6x12 scrapbook double-page spread titled Versailles Gardens, and I'll be scrapping a number of photos, and I'm working with a digital scrapbook kit, Dolled Up Denim by Kipler from Sweet Shop Designs. So this is a page that is based on a number of strips, just paper strips that I'm gluing across both pages. And so I'm starting with the bottom there because that's easy to line up. Just line it up with the bottom edge of the page. But I realized it wasn't sticking anymore, so I had to apply a little more glue and then try again to put it down. And I start with one page, then align the two pages. And once the two pages are aligned, I can stick it down to the other page there as well. So then the same goes in the opposite direction at the top of the page. So I'm just flipping or turning around the page and doing the same thing there. So again, there's a little bit of mirroring going on on my page. I like to do that especially on double page spreads. And then I have these other paper strips that I just printed out. So all of this are just digital pattern papers from this scrapbook kit, Dolled Up Denim. And so I just clip them. I create a template on in Silhouette Studio, and then I clip the papers to this, and then just print everything out, cut it out, roughen up the edges. So I run a card around it, and then I can put everything on the page, and usually I add my own embellishments because digital scrapbook kits come with a lot of photo type elements like flowers that are photographs of flowers. So obviously I would want more like either a real flower or just like a paper flower-ish something on my page. So obviously then instead of using a photo that I just cut out, obviously I would create paper flowers using my dies and stamps, and then just use those on my pages. So here I am still aligning the different strips of paper. This one, for example, will overlap. Others are just running parallel to each other. So just to have a little bit of a variety. And I used a sketch, like with these 6x6 papers, I often use what's just a 12x12 or 12x24, I guess, a double page spread. And obviously everything needs to be resized, but I take inspiration from a lot of the sketches that you find, like page maps is one place where I like to find inspiration. And so, but usually I still end up changing my own page and making it my own. I just take general inspiration from these kinds of sketches that are for the 12x12 double page spreads. So again, I'm working with 6x6 double page spreads. So in reality, it's a 6x12 page, and I'm using photos that are in proportion to what would be in the sketch. So I have, I think, like 1.5 times 2.5, and I think the biggest size is 2x3, and then I have 3x3 squares and 2x2 squares or something like that, or 1.5 square by 1.5 by 1.5. These kinds of measurements, and I'm obviously talking inches here. And so a number of photos will fit on one page there. So here I am aligning everything, and as usual, I'm starting with the elements or the photos that go from the center. I like to work from an edge. When I say center, I mean like at the center where the page will be cut apart, or it's not, it is cut apart at this point. So, and I like to start from there rather than from the middle of the page where I don't know how far the photos will go in, so I'd rather be safe with the measurements there and not running out of space or having to run into the other page and all that. So then, so this is a kind of a simple page. I'm not going too crazy with clusters and adding elements there and too many flowers. It's just a few clusters here and there, and then keeping the cluster simple as well. I've done more on my pages, as you can see if you check out my channel and check my other videos that are there already. So this is actually the light blue flowers there from a stamp set that I just have, and so I just stamped them on light blue cardstock, and then just fussy cut them out by hand. I don't have a die, any die set for this. So here I remembered for once to put the flower first before I put the photo. A lot of times I start gluing things down and I realize, oh no, something needed to go in the background there. But here for once I remembered that the photo goes behind or the flower goes behind the photo there. And so I started by gluing down the flower, then did the photo, and then I can do the other flower as well. So then there's this little circle element there in this cluster that I just pushed aside. And when I have circle elements, I run them through one of my dies. I have circle dies of various sizes, and so rather than having to turn on my silhouette, I think this goes faster for me to just use dies. And what I like about using dies there, they have faux stitching, so it gives a little extra dimension that the silhouette would just not get in the same way as metal dies would do. So anyway, this is my page done. Oh, not quite yet. Actually, I have a few more word strips. I do create these word strips myself. They're available on my blog, mistyhilltops.com. I have a number of these word strips. I have garden word strips. I have travel and winter and autumn and all these things. So if you are interested, what you can do is you just print them out. I print them out on heavy duty cardstock actually, so they are almost like chipboard accents on my page. And so then I cut them out, just simple, they're simple strips, and I just cut them out with my trimmer. And then I use them on my pages, and they work just fine for my traveler's notebook pages as well as for a 12x12 layout or 6x6 on these scrapbook layouts. So then I have a few enamel dots that I'm using as well, just to give my page a little extra. So this is my page done now. I'm going to leave you with some more close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.